live behind the scenes. So don't go away. We're headed in right.
There they are.
Hi, how are you? On Facebook Live. Can
Are
you
we
give me
rolling
a
on
wave?
this?
What's
I've been in there, so I don't know what color.
I know. I was trying to get.
I actually, you bumped me for my spot today, so I'm doing Facebook Live. Yeah, well, you know, don't be sorry. You know what? I was like, Jasmine Guy, you kidding me? Man, I'm gone. Can I just come do it live on Facebook? That's all. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jasmine Guy live. This is Facebook Live.
Yeah, it smells like tangerine. Isn't it good?
Yummy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You gotta moisturize in wintertime.
Yeah.
You got to, baby. Stand by, guys.
Okay. All right. You don't know nothing about this?
Of Chicago, 1690 AM WVON. Follow us online at WVON.com, and of course, download the iHeartRadio app, and you can listen to WVON everywhere in the world. Dr. Boncio Griffin Barres, my guest co-host, sitting in with me, and now in the studio with us, live veteran actress Jasmine Guy is hanging out with us. And Jasmine, number one, welcome back to Chicago.
Thank you. You know I love being here.
I was about to say, because you play Chicago, right? You work here.
I have worked here many times, and I've dated a few Chicago men in my day. My ex-husband's from Chicago.
There you go.
A couple of others.
Uh-oh, look out, look
I
out.
can't get away from y'all.
I know.
I don't always meet them in Chicago, but it seems like, oh, you're from Chicago. I think we have a lot in common. And I said, you know, if the evangelicals were really looking for a candidate with Christian values, it would be Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Well,
he's the one that's talking about what to do for others, and that the ones that are doing better in our society should help those that aren't. Those are Christian values. He said, oh, you're being idealistic. That's not what they're talking about. I'm like, well, you know, Jesus was a Jewish man.
That's right.
And then I moved to Atlanta in 1969 from New York. So my parents, with a black father and a white mother, took their two mixed kids into the South in 1969.
To the heart of
we could see the world better in that there was a lot that black people were doing.
Yeah.
I still grew up across the street from Morehouse College. I saw black presidents of colleges. I saw Andy Young, Maynard Jackson, Hank Aaron. These people went to my church. Their kids went to our school. So I didn't see this, I didn't see how black people were separated from the rest of the country until I left Atlanta. You know, the first time I was called a nigger was in Boston. I was already like 20 years old. I never got called a nigger in Atlanta.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, you talking to me?
It took you to come up to a northern city in Boston, the city,
Boston,
right, where black people were free.
Right, he's free, but you still, you know, the dialect from my mom. You know, like somebody would come, a plumber or whatever, and she couldn't understand what they were saying. And so my ear, I became very acute in the different sounds, in the different way people were talking. It's kind of when I learned, you know, I learned how to talk like this,
right.
And then I learned how to talk like this. You know, I remember being on the playground and they would circle me and go, say something. And I'm like, what do you want me to say? See that? She talked proper. And it was like anything that came out of my mouth sounded foreign to them as it sounded foreign to me.
And you know, we've had that conversation about using that word. You talk proper. All right, so what does proper mean? How does somebody
in my mind, I was like, they mean properly. That's an adverb.
Right.
But I didn't say it out loud. I didn't want to get my butt kicked.
You wanted to fit in.
I worked with Debbie Allen a lot, but then I did musical theater mostly. The Wiz, Bubbling Brown Sugar, the Pack, Beehive.
So you had a resume behind you when you got considered for A Different World.
Well, actually, I got School Daze before I got A Different World. And it was the casting director of School Daze, Robbie Reed, who cast us in A Different World. Even though A Different World came out first because the movie took longer. But me, Kadeem, Daryl Bell, and there are so many of us from School Daze that were on A Different World. We came on to Different World after A Different World was already cast.
So what's the Spike Lee set like?
Well, School Daze was wild. I mean, I didn't go to college, but I consider myself a graduate of Mission.
Mm-hmm.
Mission and Hillman, okay. But we had, first of all, he had us in separate hotels. He had the wannabes and the jigaboos in separate hotels. That was deep.
So he did that on purpose, huh?
He did it on purpose, yeah. And then, but every weekend there was a party for something. There was a Aquarius party, a sneaker party, a Tyson party, a Pisces party.
Is that right?
And we had a lot of traffic in the hallways in our hotels.
So I can imagine what that's like.
Because we didn't want to be alone tonight.
You regret not going to college or want to go to college?
It made me, I just felt like, is this what y'all been doing? I couldn't believe it. I was such a serious kid. You know, I was a serious young person because I was a dancer. So I didn't realize that there was that much fun to be had on a college campus. And it wasn't that I didn't want to go to college. I just started working. Once I got my paycheck, my first professional dance job, I thought, why should I go to school to do something I'm already doing, right? If I were to go to college, I would study something that I don't know. I would study African American studies or philosophy. I wouldn't go to do something I was already doing. So it needed to be because I knew the show was going to have your back. Yeah. You know, if you're going to talk about the anti-apartheid movement or date rape or, you know, whatever foul things that Whitley may have said, I knew it would be covered by the Kim Reese character or, you know, Freddie Brooks character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you guys had
and you don't always have that. Usually you're the only black person on the show, and so you got to be like, can I really just be my character, or do I have to hold up the whole race?
Now, you're in Chicago.
Can I get one? Life moment, guys. Life moment. Like, no, do it with your phone, because I'm doing this live on Facebook.
He's a newlywed. I got in trouble right here. Beautiful.